Hi guys, this is an episode to say about after my father-in-law died, what happened, and it's brought to mind. I mean, this is nearly 3 years ago that my ex-father-in-law died, but I was talking to my ex-narcissistic mother-in-law's her ex-best friend, who contacted me after events after my father-in-law had died. Anyway, we were talking about how after he died, we laid his ashes, or wanted to lay his ashes down in Wales. We went down to North Wales from Essex, because that's where he'd been living on his own, because she'd been renting a bungalow in Essex on her own, and they lived apart. It's a very strange setup. Anyway, after he died, we went down to Wales to scatter the ashes. And while we were down there, we'd arrived before his sister, who turned up with the ashes, and the ashes had spilt out of the urn all over her car. They were literally still warm, warm from the cemetery, and she was laughing about it, which I found very strange because, I don't know, for me, it was just really disrespectful. But she was passing off as, well, you know, he's dead and his spirit's gone, and this isn't his actual, you know, true sense of who he is. It's just ashes. And she said that, you know, as she was driving down to Wales, the urn was rolling around and all the ashes fell out, or a load of them on the floor, and she was laughing about it. Anyway, we went to a lake which was nearby, down in Wales, to scatter the ashes. My ex-husband, he put on his suit that he'd worn at the funeral, and then we looked around and realised that my son wasn't with us. So my ex-husband went off to go and try and find him in the local village, and as he went away, his sister was actually really derogatory about him turning up in his black suit. He wanted to be respectful of his dad and have a kind of proper little mini service. And it turns out my ex-mother-in-law and my ex-sister-in-law basically wanted to throw his ashes in the lake and go off and get something to eat, because they had booked a restaurant. They wanted to throw all the ashes into the lake, whereas my ex-husband wanted to have like a little service and a little memorial, and not throw all of the ashes in, but to scatter them in different places. Anyway, there was a bit of an argument about it, and his mum and sister went off to the restaurant that they had booked with my sister-in-law's girls, and we ended up going to have an Indian, had to have a curry, because that's what my father-in-law always enjoyed, so we went off and did that. And another thing that happened, and my ex-husband was really upset and angry about how they just wanted to shove the ashes in the lake and then leave. And then because my father-in-law had been running a B&B down in Wales, and he had an art gallery as well, a lot of the people in the village didn't know that he had died, because he had gone back up to Essex in his last dying months, and was up there where he hadn't wanted to be. And we had taken some of the flowers from the funeral down, which were, you know, beautiful tributes, and were thinking that we would put a flower display in the gallery window. And that's what we did. We stuck some of the flowers in, and a tribute to my father-in-law. And my mother-in-law had a hissy fit, kicked off, and asked for all the flowers to be removed out of the gallery window. She didn't want them, and she didn't want people to know that he had died. And she wasn't respectful of anyone else's feelings. My children to this day still find it very upsetting that that she did that. It was all done on her say-so of what kind of went on. No thought about anybody else. And just another incident, which is slightly different. We were down obviously in Wales. We were standing outside this pub. And my ex-husband was chatting to this woman. My daughter was beside me, and a friend was chatting to us as well. This woman came out that my ex-husband was friends with, shall we say. I don't even know what went on there. She was an ex-heroin addict, and she'd come off of methadone and she'd put a bit of weight on. My ex-husband had said in front of me and my daughter, "Oh, look, you're getting your arse and tits back." And my friend, he looked at us, he like gave us a really strange look, as if to say, you know, that's totally inappropriate sort of thing to say that to you. This woman one time as well, when she was drunk, because her ex was an alcoholic, asked my husband to take her back to her house one time after they'd been out drinking. I'd gone home, and she'd been particularly rude to me anyway that night, and I'd gone home, and my ex was still drinking with her, and then she asked him to take her home back to the next village. He took her home, she invited him in, he went in. Yeah, and said to me that nothing went on. Then I had her ex-boyfriend turning up, banging on the door, gone midnight, I don't know. And he was fuming. He was saying, like, you know, where is she? What's she doing? You know, get him on the phone. And I got him on the phone. I said, I don't want anything to do with it, sort of thing. But this is the kind of narcissism that I had to put up with, you know, to this day. He's saying that, you know, nothing happened. Yet another triangulation that I was in with some nut job out the village. Anyway, this is the many layers of abuse that kind of went on. Yeah, it was probably with her, you know, what it's said about her. You know, just the mind boggles. Anyway, enough is enough. I'm out of it now. Stay strong. 3 years down the line, still dealing with all of this shit. Stay strong. Love and light to you guys. Go grey rock. No contact. Cut them out your life. Subscribe or press like. Anyway, my therapy, guys. Love and light. Bye.